Everybody, it's Mark T here, and
Introduce myself. Wow.
huh?
Did I really reintroduce myself? Just immediately going on to the review?
No, sorry, you know, I said it. Mark T here, and
Not terrible.
what? What? Oh,
It is my thing to ruin the intro every time you make a video.
of course it is. And we are B Warb of Crombies.
No one must know my name.
I mean,
I've already mentioned my name. It is Anthony Martini, but no one must know it.
indeed, So it's our first video, or should I say, recording or podcast-ish recording. Basically, it's our first video of 2024. So, welcome.
We are not good at getting videos out. Blame him. Blame him entirely.
What? Huh?
Look, I've been getting on you to get something we could record online with again for
Yes.
the better part of 4 months.
I'm trying, pal, man, but it's hard to find. It's hard to find stuff. When we used to record stuff on Skype, it was so much easier.
Got him a Skype.
Yeah, so do I.
Fucking Discord's like, hey, did you know someone in a Discord channel decided to type a sentence through 5 separate posts, and you keep looking at it, and then it'll say, hey, there's another message. It's like, God, you gotta just... What's the point if you just have to mute every Discord you're I'm part of 3 fucking Discords, and there's too much notifications.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. Anyway, today we're here to talk about the Scott Pilgrim anime that came out last year.
Which we watched 2 months ago.
We did, but it was so good.
It was good. It was good.
It was damn solid, but
I can't believe Scott Pilgrim did High Schooler though. I was shocked by that.
I know it's and
really
no one arrested him. It's crazy. Yeah. But first, we want to talk about our own personal history with Scott Pilgrim. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I knew Scott Pilgrim in high school. He was kind of a dick, kind of a loser, I didn't like that guy. Real sketchy guy.
I know. I mean, he beat up that one guy because of Kim Pine. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I had a crush on her, man. I did. She was cute. I didn't want to get my ass kicked by Scott though.
Yeah, I think that gay guy that hung out with him was really, really hot.
It was. It looked good. If you didn't know, we we live in Canada. We are from Toronto.
We lived in the area.
We did, literally.
No, yeah, because I moved back here now. So yeah, we live in around the area. We have been to, I think, most of the places in the Scott Pilgrim movie.
Yes, most of the places, except for Honest Ed's, which unfortunately isn't a thing now.
I think I've been to Honest Ed's once or twice, maybe long ago. I've actually eaten that pizza though. We have both eaten that pizza.
Yeah, but what was that Honest Ed's? Because I don't think I've ever been. It was
a reseller.
Okay. Oh, like a flea market?
Yeah, basically they buy up unsold stock, and the gimmick of Honest Ed's is it sells it at a reasonable price.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I wish I could have seen it when it was like top of the time, you know?
Yeah, and Scott Pilgrim, man, did it come out when we were in high school?
Basically. The funny thing is, the first time I had ever seen Scott Pilgrim. Now this is me knowing Scott Pilgrim before I actually knew Scott Pilgrim. So I have a friend, I'm just gonna use the first letter of his name. His name is Jay. So let's just say Jay.
Garrick?
Yeah.
You know Jay Garrick?
No. But so anyway, Jay was reading this book in the library of our high school.
Silent Bob? Why did I go with the Jay Garrick reference and not the Jay and Silent Bob reference, man? I'm a nerd.
I'm saying his name starts with J.
I'm such a fucking nerd.
It's a letter. But yeah, so he was reading this book. I'm like, that's cool. It looks like manga. It's black and white. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's cool. And then I watched the trailer for the Scott Pilgrim movie. I'm like, oh, that looks so good. And then it like kind of all connected together for me. Oh, that comic he was reading was Scott Pilgrim.
But you only when was the movie announced? You only read it like after the movie was announced?
I read it after I saw the movie because I
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that means I read Scott Pilgrim before you?
definitely, yeah, definitely. Because I didn't read the entirety of Scott Pilgrim until like maybe like after I had started working and around it was around the time that I had actually seen the movie because I was working by the time the movie had come out. I watched the movie and then like I don't know, maybe a few months later I'm like, oh, okay, they're selling it at HMV. By the way, any people that live in Canada, do you remember HMV? Because
Is HMV not a thing anymore?
I don't. I think it closed down.
Um,
It closed down in the mall I used to go to a
no, it's
lot.
still. I think it's an England thing, so I think it still might be around in England.
Maybe. I miss HMV though,
Yeah,
but
if you're
anyway,
in
I saw it
Canada,
in like they had like this book collection, all 6 books of Scott Pilgrim in HMV, and I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
still.
reasonable price. I bought it, and the poster from that box set is in my office right now. Like that is how much I like Scott Pilgrim.
It's kind of funny. I beat you to it by quite a bit then.
Yeah, no,
And
it
yeah, you're becoming the more Scott Pilgrim guy. Yeah, because I remember that I'd mentioned I'd read it, and you were like, I thought it was about a guy who was a pilgrim. I was like, you thought it was about a pilgrim named Scott Pilgrim? He's wearing a bomber jacket on like the cover.
yes, his X-Men jacket. So cool. So cool.
uh,
Yeah.
you know who else has X-Men?
Ooh,
Ramona Flowers. Brought it
terrible.
full circle.
So
We brought it from Scott Pilgrim to Scott Pilgrim.
yes. Well, like so I read it all then. I really liked the comic book. I especially love the movie. Like I love the entire movie's cast. I love
Yeah.
Michael Cera. Um, and mind you, keep in mind at this particular point, I have not seen the Barbie movie, but I can freely say, based on what I've seen so far, Michael Cera is the best part of that movie in spades.
Honestly, like the Barnum's got a pretty stacked cast, including the new Doctor's in it as one of the background Kens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine that though? Like Scott's like, call me Wolverine because I'm gonna make you forget about your X-Men. Is this from us? Like, you mean the animal?
We got that from a
That was
YouTuber, right?
That was an Andre video.
Yes, right, yeah.
No, I need to play Luigi, otherwise I can't jump.
Just such a oh my god. Just such a good video. Without Luigi I can't jump. Wesley Snipes.
I'm not happening. I'm happy new doors are opening for Andre.
Oh, definitely. He did this show. He's doing this show now because he did this thing on Tubi before about like some retro stuff, and then they're making a series out of it now where he's not the star of it, but he's in there as one of the commentators.
Yeah.
But in any case, back to Scott Pilgrim. So
Tell
yeah,
me about Scott Pilgrim. Is he a pilgrim?
no, he's not a no, he's not. But he kind of goes on a pilgrimage in like the last.
Could
Yeah.
that be why it's called Scott Pilgrim, and not that he's a fucking old timey Puritan? Yes, it is.
You know, I mean, I think it's just a coincidental name, and it
No, I
sounds
think
good,
it's definitely like narratively, it was on purpose that he's a pilgrim who goes on a pilgrimage.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Scott thing has. Does it go deeper?
Mm,
Does like Scott have a meaning?
I'm
Oh,
not sure.
okay, I get it. Scott means wanderer, so he's wandering pilgrim. That
Seriously?
huh?
Scott like legitimately means wanderer.
One of the meanings apparently.
Really weird.
Might be other meanings.
But
Also getting man with a shield?
huh.
Painted warrior? Maybe a lot of meanings. Yeah, but the first one I got was Wanderer, which, yeah.
It definitely works. Wandering Pilgrim. But
I can see Man with Shield being it too, because like his whole story is about trying to defend. Because you see, Scott Pilgrim's a simp who goes for a use 304 like Ramona, who's got such a huge body count.
oof.
That's right, I'm an Andrew Tate guy now.
Oh
Much
my
like
God.
Sneeko, I'm gonna hang out with Nazis and learn how to. I'm gonna forget how to pronounce every word. Like Aiden Ross, I'm gonna become the ultimate alpha male guy. I'm gonna be so stupid and vapid, and all my work's gonna just be me like screaming. Losers, the lot of them. Also, all of you guys, like your problem with Scott is like, why does Scott become a better person?
Yeah.
Dating a high schooler, Scott, that's the guy I identify with.
Just
I think that's the funniest thing about Scott Pilgrim is guys who identify with Scott at the beginning who hate his journey. And it's like, all of you are terrible people. The whole point about Scott at the beginning is Scott sucks at the beginning.
yeah, like he doesn't, and it's something I do wish was in the show, but something I really like that the comic does it. That
Hey, we're getting spoiled territory.
It's a very small part of the comic book. I mean, I guess spoilers for the comic book if you haven't read it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But like one thing, the one big moving forward step for Scott in particular is him actually getting a job in the comic book. He gets a job working for like I think this vegetarian place, and he just washes dishes while hanging out with Steven Stills, and it's something. It's moving forward. He actually has money.
The main subplot of it is Scott Pilgrim learning how to be a functional adult and be a mature, grown person who has actually like, because early Scott is a guy who peaked in high school.
Yeah,
who is like college age now, and everyone who knows him thinks he's a loser because his entire personality is he was a guy who was like kind of cool in school, but like not really even that super cool.
I mean, let's be honest. Like the coolest he reached was literally his
He was
band.
like really good. He was really good at fighting people.
Well, that too. Yeah, greatest fighter in Toronto. Full honky.
Which I think that's like the best thing, that like he is a guy who is established as being like the best fighter in all of Toronto, and yet everyone thinks he's a loser because like that is not impressive enough. Because like he's just a guy who's good at fighting. What else has he got?
Yeah. Actually, let's see it. Me versus Michael Cera. Just let's just see.
Michael Cera would destroy you. Thanks to the powers he gained when he died, became a zombie and was resurrected.
Yeah, you're right, man. He would kill me. Scary thought. Anyways, we should get into the series.
This is why neither of us can date Elliot Page. We would have to fight his ex, Michael Cera, who, as we know, is the greatest fighter in Toronto, and as being in Toronto, you would. What are Michael Cera roles? Can we remember? Robin. He was Robin. He
was a really good Robin.
He was really good Robin.
Lego Robin. Just
yeah.
So good.
What other Michael Cera roles are there? Superbad. I didn't really watch Superbad.
Superbad I watched. It was okay.
I've also not really seen This Is the End, so this is the end of my Susan Sausage. Wow, I feel like I dodged a bullet with the Michael Cera's I haven't watched. To be fair, I haven't watched the zombie one, but I've seen enough of reviewing that to get the plot of it.
To take a brief interlude, I feel like I have a superpower of like sleeping, like literally sleeping on bad movies. I've told AJ a number of these stories.
We all know about the Jack and Jill story.
The Jack and Jill. No, I'm I'm going to see it with my mom. Because it's nice to spend time with your parents, as embarrassing as it sounds when you're a teenager. But yeah, I went to go see it with my mom, and then as soon as it started, I immediately fell asleep. And I was like, I woke up around the Dunkachino. And
So you wait, like literally the beginning of the Dunkachino?
yeah, literally at the
Like
Dunkachino.
when it's about to pan into the TV?
Yes.
You literally woke up for the one good part of the movie. Holy shit, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Like I told my mom about that scene, and she watched the entire movie for it. She's like, "Why the fuck didn't you tell me it was at the end?" It's like, I thought you'd just look up the scene. Like the one good part of that movie is like right at the end.
I'm trying to remember what the other movie was. Can't remember. I know I did it for Scary Movie 4, though. That was... No, not 4. 5. Scary Movie 5 was also pretty terrible. Sleeping through movies, folks.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, should we get to the main topic?
What's the main topic?
We're talking about the Scott Pilgrim anime series.
What's it called? What's it called?
I forgot the tagline. That's it. What is the tagline? But I'll look it up.
It's a subtitle, actually, not a tagline.
Okay, all right.
You could have asked me that, and I would have answered it because it's not tagline, it's a subtitle.
Scott Pilgrim takes off.
Yeah, I could have told you that if you merely used the right words.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. But yeah, Scott Pilgrim takes off. We saw it 2 months ago, and like just straight up thoughts. I think it was really great.
It was really good.
Like just great writing. They got basically the entire cast.
Yeah, the only cast missing is the Double Dragons because their original actors aren't fluent English speakers and instead passed on doing the.
Yeah, but oh man, such a good show. Like I think it's fair to say we are going to get into spoilers.
Oh my god! Holy shit! That's so funny. The in the voice cast on the Wikipedia, Edgar Wrong literally links to Edgar Wright.
Nice.
That's funny. Yeah, one of the characters in it is literally a parody of Edgar Wright, the guy who made the movie.
Mm.
Who is also him and Michael are the reason why it was made, because they had a like chat thing that they'd all talk to and keep in contact with in it.
Yeah.
And they kind of moved on, and then he basically threw the message in because he had the contacts for all of them. Which is that. And then like Michael Cera got everyone talking about it and got everyone to come back.
Yeah.
Like, again, you gotta think, like, I think a lot of like the cast, like just alone, like Brie Larson, Audrey Plaza,
Chris Evans,
like are all people who've like really taken out. Even like Sarah. I'm less familiar with Mary Elizabeth Winstead, but I know she's been in a lot of stuff leading.
Anna Kendrick.
Yeah, like these are.
Yeah.
A lot of these people are people who could just say like, "I am like legitimately busy."
Yeah.
And you couldn't even really be hanged because it's like, yeah, no, you are busy.
Yeah, but no, they came back and they did a really great show. So again,
I think this is the best version of like Michael's performance as Scott.
Yeah,
I feel like it takes what it did in the movies, but like he has refined it to like even some of like his most minor, like his delivery is just because he's done a lot of voice acting work.
Yeah,
and like I think he's actually like might be a bit stronger as a voice actor than an actual actor.
Yeah, it's possible.
Unless he's doing like unless he's doing awkward dude. Like awkward dude, I think he's really good.
Yeah,
but like I think his body language only really works for awkward dude. But like his vocal delivery is really good. Like, he has some of my favorite lines, and like they're just minor lines.
Well, first thing, who is your favorite Scott Pilgrim character? Like outright.
Oh, it's I want to say like before this, it's always been Wallace.
Mm.
After this, it might be Lucas Lee.
Same for me. Before this, like in the comics, it's always been Wallace. I fucking love Wallace. He's just a great character.
Like Lucas is already my favorite Evil X. Now Lucas might be my favorite character.
After this, my favorite character is definitely Gideon Graves. Just
like it's the it's the Scott like what's the sugar daddy line like he sounds so fucking genuine. Beautiful.
Yes.
But yeah, okay. So still non-spoiler things. Let's talk about their version of Scott, spoiler free. Might be the best Scott.
Yeah.
This might be the goodest Scott.
I feel like so in comparison to the movie, we can see Scott has like essentially a kind of issues, especially in regards to like Envy Adams. He has anytime somebody brings up his hair, he has to put his hat on, and he feels overwhelmingly awkward. While this version of Scott in particular is actually quite charming. Like he's still awkward, but he's got the charm to win Ramona over. Like
this feels like it's the Scott who, even by the beginning of the series, like he's already like, I gotta improve. I gotta like.
Yeah. Like he's just changing. He's becoming a better person.
Which is makes sense because kind of the point of this is it's like kind of the one that looks deeper into like Scott's flaws and Scott's need for growth, and also Ramona. We get more focus on Ramona's arc.
Yeah. No, we get. Oh my god, we get so much Ramona in this, and like I'm gonna be honest, I probably never liked Ramona as a leading character.
Ramona is Girl Scott, but she never really went on the path to not be Scott. And as we all know, you don't want to be a Scott.
Definitely not.
Never be a Scott.
It's like it's in particular like she's particularly comes off as like cold and uncaring, and just kind of a date them and then leave them kind of person.
Yeah, she never really takes ownership of her fault in the breakups and like basically just foist it on Scott.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. But
I gotta make you listen to that fucking shitty song though.
Yeah.
Then what is it? The Negative XP? Scott Pilgrim versus the world renowned whole generation of women. We've gotta force ourselves through that fucking god awful song.
Yes.
Yes, I would like cake.
Before I ice it?
Yes, please. Cake.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm getting cake.
Lucky.
Yeah. Scott Pilgrim versus the world may ruin a whole generation of women, but I don't care. I'm getting cake. Imagine being so salty over a Michael Cera movie. Did she write a song? Because she has blue hair and pronouns. God damn. But no, Ramona's really good in this. The greater focus on Ramona. The greater focus on Ramona and the Evil X's.
Yeah.
Because, spoiler for the Scott Pilgrim expanded universe, nothing is a straight adaptation.
No, nothing. Like I think mainly like basically the opening of the show until the actual like night where the band plays. That's when things start changing.
I guess maybe Scott Pilgrim the animation, which was like a series of like animated shorts.
It wasn't a series. It was literally just one short that was about like Scott's time in high school, meeting was it Lisa Miller, I believe her name was, and then like starting to date Kim, and then eventually just moving away by the end of it. It was it was literally that. I wish there were more, and that's what I was expecting from this anime. You know,
so like that's like Yeah, because even though it's covering stuff we've not seen before and covering it a bit differently.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Because that is kind of the one that really gets into that. Because it's like kind of a minor thing in most of the other adaptations.
Yeah. But we didn't really see a whole lot of Wallace in this, though. In this
Well,
series.
he was busy. He was practicing lines in the trailer.
just Wallace feels
my
like
one friend's absolute favorite line and scene in that is lines in the trailer. My other friend was just happy that we got more Matthew Patel because she really likes Matthew Patel. God, Matthew Patel rocks in this.
yes. Like, are we finally gonna dig into the spoilers?
Okay, you know what? Let's go into it. Scott Pilgrim fucking dies.
He dies. He doesn't even leave a toonie, man. Pathetic.
He came on my bus fare. Yeah. Matthew Patel fucking murks Scott.
He does. It's
And then because of that, Matthew Patel is like, I beat Scott Pilgrim. I'm clearly the strongest evil X. Actually beats Gideon Graves using some abilities he didn't really use in his previous fight.
yeah.
And my theory is either A, he leveled off that XP, or B, he heard that like Scott's supposedly the best fist fighter, so he decided to primarily fight him evenly to prove himself.
Yeah. Well, here's a question though,
which would kind of make sense because like the whole reveal is he wasn't as confident in himself, and he saw the fight as a way to prove himself.
Yeah. But like here's a question though, and I kind of think it's something that like I didn't really think about until just now. What exactly is the end goal of the evil axes? Just to keep Ramona like single this whole time? Just never have a
relationship? The answer is I think like offhand mentioned in by Gideon in one of the versions. He wants to wear down Scott, get rid of him. Then, when Ramona is emotionally compromised, maybe do it a few more times even.
Yeah.
And then get Ramona emotionally compromised, beat Ramona, and throw her in the girlfriend tank. That was Gideon's entire plan is to like, and he kind of wants the evil X's. I think he also wants the evil X's out of the way, so that none of them will like be like, "Hey, that's fucked up what you're doing to Ramona."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically just a plan for Gideon himself.
Yes.
But Gideon Graves sucks.
He does. Well, not in this series. He sucks significantly.
So here's the thing. So Scott Pilgrim beat up a guy in high school who turns out was kind of a loser nerd.
Yeah.
No one cares about his name. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Do you remember his name?
Something. It's like a very Asian name. Let me see.
Is it Edward Wong? Is something Wong? No. I can't remember. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? Anyway, there was a popular theory. No, I think of Ellen Wong and Edgar Wrong.
Maybe.
But anyway, so there was a theory that he was actually Gideon Graves. That Gideon Graves was like a fake name. Who like he became Gideon to get revenge on Scott, and it was all about Scott.
Oh, I found the name, by the way.
Yeah, what is it?
It's Simon Lee.
Simon Lee, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the theory that Simon Lee was actually Gideon. This show kind of runs with it by not having him be Simon Lee, but
Yeah.
instead, he was a Simon Lee.
Yes, he was. Oof.
His name is Gordon Goose.
Yes. My favorite character from this show.
Gilbert Goose.
Keep in mind, I've never stated this otherwise. I am kind of a huge softie for like good guys. For good guys and underdogs. And I'm gonna be honest, like Gordon, like he has this whole moment where he shows up in front of Julie, and yes, major spoilers for the show. I'm gonna put it in like the title of this video too, but just make sure you don't listen to this if you're planning on watching it. But
we'll cut off for spoilers.
Hmm?
We should edit in a moment where it's like, don't go on forward if you don't want spoilers for the entire series.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's a moment where he's standing in front of Julie. For a second she like doesn't know who he is, and then she's like, Gordon? And then we just like we end the episode. But then the following episode we see that he's just staying at her house and they're dating now, and it's so nice. So wholesome even.
They're both terrible people, but like they actually have a healthy relationship.
Yes. I mean, this is Julie, man. Like, no matter like what media I think aside from this that she's in, she's usually like just a bad person.
To be fair, Julie's main goal is wanting Scott to fuck off and like, fair.
Hey, aside from dating a teenager, what is the worst thing Scott Pilgrim has ever done?
He assaulted a guy over a girl. Actually, things have kind of gone like implied both ways that like maybe Simon was an asshole.
Yeah.
And did kind of start it, but like Scott could have just walked away from it.
True. I mean, based on what we see in the comic book, Simon Lee looks very different from Scott's imagination.
Yeah.
But
like the animation kind of implies that maybe it really did happen.
Yeah. I don't know. It's strange.
But either way, coming to the connection, because what happens is because Scott dies immediately.
Yes.
Ramona has to deal with evil exes.
Yeah.
So we actually get Ramona having to like I think specifically one of the best ones is the Roxy one.
Yeah.
Where she outright admits that she fucked up and she was stupid and Roxy's is better than her.
Yeah.
And Roxy's just like, that's all I wanted.
Yeah. Like it's
and then she's just like, so since your current boyfriend's dead, I mean, I'm not saying we have to be a thing, but friends of mine, she's like, no, okay, fine. What about you, Kim? You say no.
Just the closure in this show for mainly I think the ones that got closure, like Roxy, Lucas Lee. Trying to think of others.
I'd say Matthew's doing pretty good. He's still Matthew's still kind of like not a good guy, but he's moved on from his flaws and he's confident now.
Yeah.
Gordon's in a better again. Gordon's still an asshole, but like end series, Gordon is like in a way better place. He's a way less toxic evil guy.
Yeah, he's with Julie. He's with Matthew. They're starting to plan some evil plot, but they're happy, and I feel like that's the most important part. But okay, so I'm going to discuss probably my second favorite moment of the show, aside from Lucas and Gordon hanging out.
But yeah, I should mention when Lucas loses, he ends up losing his movie career.
Yes,
because like plot twist. Young Neil makes a
like Scott Pilgrim, Life of Scott Pilgrim.
He makes the movie Scott Pilgrim versus the World, including Edgar Wrong, a character who is very clearly Edgar Wright.
Yes,
and there's constant trouble going on because like Envy and Todd are supposed to be Scott and Ramona, but they keep making out and fucking.
Yeah.
So instead, Edgar, on suggestion from the man playing Wallace Wells, who was originally a guy called Straight Wallace,
Yeah.
who ends up becoming Wallace Wells because Wallace Wells heckles his way into the role of himself. Which
So
leads to him kissing Todd, and now Todd's obsessed with him. And they keep taking lines in the trailer.
Like tattoo on the abs, obsessive, man.
And part of you is like, man, it's kind of sucks the way he played with Todd's heart and didn't make it clear that it wasn't a serious thing. But also, like, in every other universe, Todd pulls a Wallace, and Todd is worse about it.
Yeah. But, like, I part of me wishes it would have worked out, because those two...
Yeah, but we wouldn't get a mobile. We need a mobile.
Yeah, I know. Mobile's great, man. I mean, despite how little we get to see of him in the comic, but, like...
I actually really like his moment in this, which is, like, right at the end.
Yeah.
Because it's a reoccurring thing that why Wallace doesn't see what he did is that wrong. Is like he believes like true loves and what is it called? They call it sparks.
Yeah.
Which is like sparks is repeatedly a thing when like you meet someone who you really connect with, you see sparks. Like literally, he doesn't believe it exists. He's never really felt in love with someone, and at the end when he meets Mobile, he sees sparks. He's like, oh my god, sparks are real. So. Yes. One can presume after that point he went in like seriously apologized to Todd.
I hope so. And then just lasered off his tattoo.
Oh yeah, another great moment with truly the biggest get. Will God dang Forte. Now, I don't know if you know this about me. I enjoy Will Forte.
That I did not know.
He was part of one of my favorite I Think You Should Leave sketches.
Mm.
I think Will Forte is really funny guy.
Yes.
I think he's really good at playing specifically guys who think that they should be taken way more seriously than they are. Like again, the Think You Should Leave thing. Yeah. Where like he's both like an antagonistic character but kind of a loser.
Yeah.
Which brings to who he plays in Scott Pilgrim. Because plot twist, and this is actually my friend noticed this and actually saw the twist coming. When Scott dies, there is no KO.
Yes.
Every other time it happens, someone gets coined, there's a KO.
I mean, Scott does get coined. There are coins.
Oh yeah, but there's no KO.
No, there's.
And the reveal is someone actually slurped him away, into a portal, and left coins to trick people and think he was dead.
Yes.
Do you know who that was? Do you know who faked the death of Scott Pilgrim?
It was future Scott, right?
Because it turns out in the future, Scott would become a musician known as Negative XP, who would write a song called Scott Pilgrim the World versus ruined a whole generation of women. Because you see, him and Ramona didn't work out. It turns out she never really got the growth, and Scott, it turned out his like growth as a person was not the truest. Like you could see it as him being movie Scott, but I prefer to think of him as like another yet different Scott, who is a hybrid of movie and game Scott. Where he is specifically, or original comic Scott, I mean, not movie Scott, where he's like, in the game, if Scott beats Nega Scott, he does not grow from it and stays a kind of a piece of shit.
Yes.
The way I see future Scott is, he basically went through the comic plot, but he's like the worst possible interpretation of Scott from that, where like he's like video game Scott, where like he feels like him at the end of the series is full growth.
Yeah. So
he's a Scott who never grew past the end of that comic.
Yeah, like he's very childish. He doesn't like ironically the thing that led him to being stuck in his room and his house for so long is the fact that he did not treat like the fight was just a fight, but he thought Ramona dumped him, and it was just like stupidity on his part.
Yeah, Ramona needed some space to deal with stuff because Ramona, had yet to really grow, and he took that as, it was worth nothing because I don't get my girl or her vagina right now. It was worth nothing. All of it was nothing. The first difficulty in my relationship means it failed. Because in the end, this is a Scott who did not grow that much.
Yes, indeed.
And because of that, as we find out, Ramona, the future Ramona, really did just need space.
Yeah.
And because of him just becoming becoming a huge sad sack, they never got back together. And he could have actually worked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were bad at communicating.
I mean, there's still potential for their relationship. It's just he's been grounded to his room. So we'll see.
But yeah, Scott, future Scott pulled young Scott to try and convince him they wouldn't have worked out. It would have been bad. And yet this Scott is idealistic because he's like, yeah, but I mean, now I learned there's going to be trouble. I could just deal with it. I understand there's going to be, because this is the best Scott.
Yeah, he is.
This Scott doesn't believe it would be doomed to failure because this Scott's like, nah, I'd win. I'd do it. I would just simply be a good boyfriend and be understanding.
Yeah. Like, just good. I do genuinely think he might be the best Scott. Like, as much as I love the comic book Scott,
the number one reason he is best Scott.
Yeah.
The moment he gets back, what's happened when he's been away is, Knives and Ramona have had to deal with the whole fact that secretly Scott was kind of dating both of them.
Yeah, he was cheating on them.
And also that, like, Knives dealing with the fact that her and Scott were never actually serious.
Yeah.
And her really feeling used. And her actually, like, at first she's angry at Ramona, but then she decides, like, I mean, it's not really Ramona's fault. She didn't know. I should be angry at Scott.
Yeah, exactly.
And she goes to confront him the moment he reappears. And unlike every other version, Scott just apologized with her, admitted he fucked up, and she deserves better than him.
Exactly.
And, like, it's such a great moment where, like, Scott actually admits that, like, yeah, no, I sucked. I'm so sorry, Knives. Because Knives is a perfect angel, and anyone who breaks her heart must be destroyed.
Indeed.
And Scott, you're on thin fucking ice.
Yeah.
Also, Knives ended up joining Sex Babam.
Yes. What was it? It was still Steven Stills and Kim, though, right?
Yeah, Steven and Kim are still there.
Yes, right.
Honestly, Knives is great in it. Knives is adorable.
Knives is the best girl, but I feel like in general this is probably the best ending for all the characters. If there doesn't end up being a second season, I can still be happy with what we got.
Just like they were planning the second season, but they've still said they're open to it, so who knows?
Yeah. Like literally, everyone is in a significantly better place. Even better than the comic book.
Envy, but like, I mean, it was Todd sucking that brought Envy on the path to being a better person. So maybe off-screen Envy grew.
Maybe. I don't know. But I'm saying like in comparison to the comic where while things are good, Scott and Ramona are back together.
It's never made clear how much the exes grew from their losing fights.
Yeah. But the worst sacrifice of the comic is really Steven Stills being in another
Steven only being in shitty relationships. This one doesn't happen.
Yeah. No, it's bad. Like I still think it's a great comic, and don't get me wrong, it's still damn good. Just that one bit.
I don't know. Maybe one of the evil exes is by, and they could get together. Oh man, could Steven Stills and Lucas Lee work?
Yeah, I was literally just thinking that. I was like who would work with him? It's gotta be.
Because like Luke's a pretty chill dude.
Yes,
He's kind of a chill bad. He's a chill bad boy, and for what we've seen, Steven's things is bad boys.
it is.
But I
yeah.
think Lucas Lee is the most performatively a bad boy of all bad boys. Like Lucas's entire arc is, he basically went, okay, being the nice guy did not get me the girl, so I'm just gonna just be genuinely, openly a bad boy.
Mm.
And I think that's why Lucas works so great as a character. That like Lucas, like a lot of the exes, is kind of an asshole, but Lucas never hides from his flaws. Is very open about it. And, like, is kind of the least dick because his flaws are basically he just does what he wants and doesn't give a shit what people think about him.
Yeah. Also, he works at a coffee shop now.
Yeah. So, like, Lucas's only real need for growth is, okay, I should follow the whole idea of just doing what I want and being the guy I want. But, like, I need to just be less of a bad boy because, like, being a jerk to people will still push them away. And, like, even if it's on my own terms, do I want, like, to have very few people that actually like me?
Mm.
So now he's kind of become a fusion between the younger Lucas, nice guy Lucas Lee, and the older bad boy Lucas Lee. Where he's just kind of like a jock bro.
Yeah.
Come on, Pilgrim, kiss the girl.
Moving forward from that, I would still like to discuss probably my favorite moment of the entire show, and that is Lucas and Gordon Goose, like best friends, skateboarding, and just
I was hoping we were going to get to the episode. That's why I pushed you to do so many episodes the second time. I wanted to get to that one.
yes, like just such a good episode of just them hanging out. Gordon learning
Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I love also the reveal that like Julie was away for like an hour and they got up to all that shit. I left for 1 hour.
So great.
You know, my name's not Lucas either. It's actually Luke. It doesn't make any sense.
But just such a great moment. Oh
yeah, also another best moments with Lucas are either him reading about him like falling while doing the skateboard trick, and that's how he's defeated. And being like, there's no way I'd be stupid enough to do that. And also you know Scott Pilgram was dating a high school student? I'd never do that. And then it turns out he's dating the girl playing knives who is, according to him, like actually 30. And then just him turning to the TV and going, my God. This my God is so funny. Like everything everything Lucas does is like with the intensity that he is in the most serious moment. It's beautiful.
So so are there any other moments you want to talk about?
What about the fact that who turns out to be the main villain of the entire series? That's right, Rumble McSkirmish.
It's like old Scott, right?
Yeah.
Yes. It
turns out he did. Never underestimate that he has punches.
Indeed.
I do love that his design is very clearly meant to be Rumble McSkirmish.
Rumble McSkirmish, man. Perfect.
Can I get like the full? Of course, we only got this gif, but like, yeah, he becomes Rumble McSkirmish, and we actually get the like sub boss music.
Yeah.
For the final fight, because he decides, yeah, kidnapping you and telling you not to get together with her didn't work. So instead, I'm gonna try and like use my backup plan to make it so you can't kiss her because you're totally not gonna end together if you don't kiss her. And then he finds out like even if they couldn't kiss, they would like do everything they could and would eventually find a way to break through because they do care about each other that much.
Yeah, of course.
So he decides, fuck it, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of all of you. His plan is just, I'm gonna just murder Ramona.
I kind of like the fact that his beard is like parted in the exact same way the top of his hair is.
Yeah.
It's just hair, right? Yeah.
Other thing. It turns out in that universe, it's unclear if it's Mobile ends up works for there, or if it's someone else that Wallace ends up together with. Also, kind of like the reveal that like Wallace is a bigger piece of shit in this show at first.
Yeah.
Because like it turns out Scott actually does bring out the best in Wallace. But by the end of it, he's back on track to being with Scott back and Mobile happening. But like, it does kind of show the thing that Scott might kind of suck, but him and Wallace, Jane friends, like Wallace acts like he doesn't care. The fact that in the future, Wallace Wells is married to a high-powered Nintendo executive, and he's letting Scott crash there. And we find out the truth. We can't tell him. We gotta. He needs to know. And Nintendo, you don't really get all the games for free. No, he's lying, actually. You actually do. Also, the VR machine being a fucking virtual boy. Beautiful.
Oh, man. But yeah. Like what a great anime, and just what a great universe in general, man. If there's anything that does bum me out a little bit is that we don't get enough young Neil, my boy.
Sad we don't get enough of the actual best character, old young Neil.
Old young. Oh man. But yeah, no. Really, really solid show. And if there is a second season, I would love to see what comes next.
Yeah.
I
feel like there's one last thing we're forgetting.
Mm.
Oh yeah, the best joke in the entire series. The reveal that the reason why Robot 1 keeps showing up is it's actually Scott using him in the same way that he's able to jump between like the exist in all separate times. That's used to pull him to the future because you see, what has greater vegan powers than a human who's never eaten meat? A robot who's never eaten meat.
Yes, right, yeah. Robot 1.
Even older Scott spent like 10 years in a room training.
Yeah. At the very least, he looks rock solid. And he'd do a great.
I would never underestimate that man has punches.
Indeed. He's got a great Rumble McSkirmish look. Man. So yeah, that is a review of Scott Pilgrim. What did you think?
I think Scott should have just stayed in a relationship with an underage girl. I think that was the cool Scott. I think the cool Scott was the one who is going to end up in prison.
The cool Scott, man. No, that Scott's the coolest. Dude, he's dating a teenager. Yeah, should be in jail right now. It's badass.
Original series Scott would just hang out with like early Fate arc Shiro Emiya, just being like, "Yeah, we have no need for personal growth. Hell yeah!"
Jesus Christ. yeah. So, hope you enjoyed that, everybody. And also, Happy New Year. If I don't think I said that in the beginning. Happy New Year. And 2024, the year of Beware of Crombies, coming back full force.
Yeah,
Huh?
we might do some game videos even.
Yeah. In particular, I think the thing I'm looking forward to the most is the new season of Black Butler. I'm not sure if it's coming out this year.
Oh, it's coming out this year.
This
Oh
year?
no.
Holy shit.
It's coming out like March. I'm not looking forward to it.
Hey, we gotta. Yeah.
The school arc sucks. Like the
But hey,
the school arc.
let's just see how it goes, man. Maybe they change things to make it
They're
better.
not. They can't.
Ooh.
The school arc is basically just a lamer version of the murder mystery arc, which is like entirely carried by Sebastian's like fake proto Sherlock Holmes persona that he takes after his death being faked, and the entire reveal that he didn't solve the mystery, he just framed a guy to get everyone else to fuck off. Like that is the hype. I'm just not a fan of the school arc. I'm honestly not a fan of like the less Reaper heavy and the more like comedy over mystery arcs. This one's very much a comedy arc. We're going to get fucking Druid back.
Wait,
Of
the
course.
school arc's more of a comedy?
Yeah, because they're like investigating a crime that happened in the school, but like it's played for comedy a lot more.
Seems like Grell is like built for comedy.
Yeah, she's not in it.
Damn.
Yeah, we're not getting Grell until the arc right now in the manga, which is like 2-3 arcs away. 1 second. Why are you even still on video? We could like cut this. Yeah, it's Public School arc, Emerald Witch arc, which is a lot better. She's not back for the Blue Cult arc. I don't think she's back. Or is she back late in the Blue? Because the Blue Cult arc sets up the current arc now. Blue Memory, Blue Red. Honestly, the most recent 3 arcs have all been like connected, but she does show back up with Othello, which you're looking forward to because you're an Othello man.
No, Othello is my favorite. What was it? Just call them Grim Reapers, right? That's
The Reapers.
Yeah, like I love Othello. I legitimately want to cosplay him as him one day. Mainly the lab coat and the hairstyle. It's a good combo.
He is a man who respects. I'll never escape this gif.
But yeah. Another thing I definitely want to try. I want to do like the Hunter the Parenting Sims 4 thing.
Oh yeah.
Like, just like fully fill up on like Sims like
Yeah,
DLC.
but you've got to finish the entire series. We've still got like a couple to go.
Yeah, but we got a lot of plans in store, and I hope you're excited.
We're gonna do lettuce plays, maybe perhaps.
Yes, lettuce
I got
plays.
a lot of roguelikes I could just do like quick couple run videos while you watch.
Yeah.
There's a few like visual novels I wouldn't mind playing through with like I've already played through them and you get to see them for the first time.
Yeah. Like there's a whole wide world out there of content, and I hope you guys are here to see it because we're excited to bring it to you.
You, the 3 people that actually watch our videos.
Yes. In any case, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you all later.
And we are Sex Babomb.
Goodbye.
1, 2, 3, 4.